It's Wednesday the 7th of June 2017 and I'm back at Merstham to do a walk along Pilgrims Way. Now in Quality Street, Merstham, I'm back on the route of Pilgrims Way. Near the end of Quality Street, the walk bears right along this enclosed path. The path crosses over the M25 motorway. After the motorway, the path is more wooded. We now come to and pass St Catherine's Church, Merstham. And there's the route of the path. Incidentally, this is also North Downs Way at this point, as well as Pilgrims Way. The church is open. This is inside St Catherine's Church, Merstham. After a short walk along a main road, the walk turns left along Rockshaw Road. Up there. The road crosses the two sets of lines forming the London to Brighton Railway. Here's the first set. And here are the second set of lines of the London to Brighton Railway. These are the fast lines. We now turn left off the road along this path. Pilgrims Way, North Downs Way now goes beneath the M23 motorway. After the motorway, the path rises and then cuts across this field. Here's the path in the next field. And yet again, here's the path in the next field. As the path rises, views open up back the way I've just come. We now bear right onto this path, known appropriately enough as Pilgrims Lane. We come to this trig point with a spectacular view looking south. I've diverted off the path a few yards here to get to the view. After the trig point, we continue along the beautifully hedged Pilgrims Lane. We now cross the road known as Hilltop Lane and continue ahead. And at this point, just after the road in the last clip, the path is signed Pilgrims Way. After the road and the Pilgrims Way sign, the path, still I think Pilgrims Lane, is quite wide. After weeks of relatively dry weather, there was heavy rain yesterday and I'm facing some mud. The wide path continues. The path opens up a bit further on and there's this view over to the right. Ahead now there is a muddy dip in the path. On the left there's this view looking north and you can see some of the buildings of central London. At this fork, the way is to the right hand fork. The path is very wide here, and there's another slight dip. Still on Pilgrims Way and North Downs Way. We come to this road junction and continue down Warcoppice Road ahead. A few yards along Warcoppice Road we pass White Hill Tower on the left, a folly built in 1862 by a farmer to remember his son. At the junction of Warcoppice Road with Hextall's Lane, Pilgrims Way goes along that path off to the right. I'm very glad to be off the road and along this wooded path. Still on this beautiful wooded path, and we follow North Downs Way up there. There is a fork. We take the left hand fork ahead, basically. The path is now quite wide and on a high wooded shelf. Splendid woodland here. Look at the roots of that tree. Another fork in the path. This time we take the right hand branch. Now at the Gravelly Hill viewpoint, with the M25 in the foreground, on this wide expanse of grass which we follow beside this road. More views from Gravelly Hill. We now turn right along this path which goes into woods. Further on, the path turns left to go through this woodland. This really is glorious woodland. Yes, you've guessed it, a fork in the path. This time we take the right hand branch down there. Once again, the path's on a shelf. And there's Pilgrims Way, North Downs Way ahead. The roar of the M25 in the distance. The way now bears right down these steps. Shortly after, there's a second set of steps to go down. Confirmation we're on North Downs Way as well as Pilgrims Way, and we're going to turn right. We're at a road. We're going to turn right down there. I think we're going to go over a main road. Now crossing the A22 on a footbridge. After crossing the A22 we turn right along this wide track, and there's a North Downs Way walker ahead. At this point, Pilgrims Way and North Downs Way takes this small path on the left. Now there are steps down to a small road. We cross the road and take the path directly ahead. A short way along there's another set of steps. This time you go up the steps. After the steps we turn right along this concrete path. Good views opening up over to the right. We're passing a vineyard on the right as well. The path is now narrow. That's the way ahead. At this point, Pilgrims Way leaves North Downs Way. North Downs Way goes up there. Pilgrims Way goes along this metalled road. Nice view over to the right, and there is the small road continuing ahead. We come to this road and turn left uphill. We now turn right along this path and we've rejoined North Downs Way. We now come to this kissing gate which we go through. We ignore the road that you can see on the right. More glorious woodland, the path running parallel to the road. I think it eventually joins it. At the top of Tandridge Hill, the footpath joins a small road. We now go ahead to the junction and turn right. We're on the Woldingham countryside walk here. The Tandridge border path. And of course our old friend the North Downs Way. We now take a path off the road and go up there. We are now in Granger's Hill Woods, and the path descends here. We come to this seat with a brilliant view. And here is information on the view. And there's the information board. I think my shadow's in the way of it. Further on, the path bends to the right and goes down these steps. Quite a long flight by the look of it. A very steep descent, even though there are handrails to help. Apparently we're over the Oxted railway tunnel here. At the bottom of the steps, the path turns left along the side of Oxted Downs. And there's a view over to the right and ahead. That's looking back where I've come. Now there's a really sweeping view. And that's the path, North Downs Way and Pilgrims Way. This is quite an awkward path in places. It would be near the end of the walk again. And there's the view. We come to this kissing gate and turn right down here. Another kissing gate and then on there with the hedge on the left. At the end of the hedge the path turns left to continue to follow the hedge. And there's a decent view. We come to this road and the walk turns right. After a few yards, Pilgrims Way turns left up those steps along that path, but I'm going to continue along the road into Oxted for the railway. Now at Oxted Station and the end of today's walk along Pilgrims Way.